away in the studio here, or cleaning up a bit, organizing before I leave. So much is going on. I don't know. I got my interview tomorrow. Today was a weird day, but I have a job interview tomorrow, which I talked about in the last vlog. So I've got feelings about that. I was going to say I'm excited or I'm nervous. It's both. With this potential contract, it would just mean a lot of great possibilities, but guaranteed stress. And I think that's interesting, that I've got possibilities of this being just like so great and a fresh new start, but something I've been working towards for a long time that I want. That this teaching position, man, I'm just like, I can't focus on one thing right now. I want to go. We're going to talk about values in a second, and that fits into this whole everything I'm doing right now. But anyway, it's interesting, I think, that this opportunity is. That's the thing. It's an opportunity for awesome things, but it is guaranteed stress. And that's just an interesting, I don't know, nugget that I'm thinking about right now, that I shy away a lot of times from situations that are guaranteed stress, and you don't know if it's going to work out or not. You don't know. I mean, on paper, this thing looks great, but I don't know how it's going to actually be, I don't know what admin is like, I don't know what staff is like, I don't know what the student body is like, I don't know the challenges I will face. I know the potential challenges, but I don't know which ones I'm going to face, if half of them, or if 2 times as many of them that I'm thinking about. I don't know. But I do know that on paper, this is what I want. And so and even if everything worked out beautifully and wonderfully, there's the guaranteed stress and anxiety and hard work of getting there. There's the financial strain there, not for the interview, I mean, if I got the job. There's the financial strain, the physical strain, the time constraints, the moving, basically. It's all about the moving and the organizing of all these crazy amount of elements that have to go into moving, not just myself. That all these things to consider about your mail. Do you get a new doctor? New schools, like just where are you going to live? Doing a new budget, organizing so many things in such a short amount of time. Because if I were to find out that I got the job that day, let's say tomorrow I find out you got the job, signed the contract, here you go. That's not even a month. That's not even a month and a half before I would start working. And I would have to just be like, oh, shoot, I guess I'm moving. Let's figure all this other stuff out. I don't even remember why I got into this whole thing. But I did want to talk about values for a second, just because I went to counseling for the first time in about 6 weeks. I'd been really short on time, and I just kept telling myself, again, once I get out of a rhythm, it's easy for me to stay. Like, breaking out of a habit or a routine is so easy for me. Getting back into it is very difficult, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. But one of the things that we kind of, a lot of it was maybe reminders about things. Man, this GoPro's all over the place. Oh my goodness. But right now, my value is not on showing my face and having like a super smooth video, but rather getting these concepts out and getting out of here at the same time, which is maybe counterproductive to my real value. I don't even know. Anyway, what I was going to say was that value-based actions and decisions, etc., are something that came up with ACT, with that, based off of this book that I had read, because my counselor challenged me to, maybe challenge is too harsh a word, but asked me to, or asked if I would. It wasn't a very strong challenge by any means, but one of these things that it highlights, I've talked about in a vlog before, is about value-based decision-making and figuring out what are your values, why is that something you want to do or not do, what are you doing, are you doing things based on your values, why do you have those values, etc., 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 and it's figuring out what is it that you actually want, what's getting in the way of that, to helping make decisions, even about, to help make decisions about even how you're going to feel. And I think that was a great reminder, because part of me, it just came up. I mean, part of the values aren't things that you or me or whatever necessarily want, but you have to have in a way. I don't know. Okay, so I was making a review video for Little Miss Sunshine, which is a great, great movie, and I got so many calls for work during that, and I value being able to live, I guess, financially in the world. I'm more responsible to that than I am to, I want to make a smooth video. And making these videos, it's just a reminder too of like cutting your losses and moving on, because I got upset. I had to keep stopping the video, stopping it like 7 or 8 times, and usually I just talk once through and I don't stop the camera ever. And that's part of just my style too, of not making it this perfect thing and having to look at a whole bunch of notes. I do have notes, and I did look at them, but it's not as meticulous and organized and structured as someone maybe like Anthony Fantana would do for the Needle Drop and just reviewing music. And I love his reviews. It's just not me. This is not my career. I'm not making money off this. This isn't a stepping stone to something else in a formal way. This is just me expressing myself. And it does good things, and I value that I do this. And it's fun as well. But there's those moments where I was getting these calls for work, and they're just annoying calls that are like, oh, generalist, and not actually telling me what the subjects and levels are so that I can make an informed decision if I want to work at that school doing that position or not, because I don't know what the position is, because I don't know if I'm going to walk into a room and it's going to be art, or if it's going to be chemistry 30, or if it's going to be whatever. Anyway, a whole other rant. But it just reminded me of the values of like, okay, well, right now work is a value for a bunch of reasons. It's not necessarily the most fun thing, but I do value it because I keep interrupting my video that I'm making in order to see what work would be like and what work could be for tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day, and that I do value that more. So to let go of the fact that it's happening, because it's annoying, yes, and it interrupts, and I don't like interruptions at all, but I can't do anything about them a lot of the time. You can try to prevent them, but whatever. Anyway, it is interesting just because I got over it a lot quicker once I was like, hey, I don't make these are not videos that I'm doing to make money. It's not my job. It's not my profession. It's not like the choppiness of it sucked that time, but that's just that. And there's a certain amount that I'm going to plateau with videos because I'm not actively putting effort into them any more than I already have. A little bit tweaking here and there as I want to make things smoother, but I mean, that would be like, oh, if I got a phone call from someone that I wasn't expecting and it was an emergency and I wanted to answer because that's a value of mine. I'd rather have that value than like, oh, I needed to make a really smooth video, so I didn't answer your call. Sorry that I wasn't there when you needed me. That's a more extreme situation than work calling me 7 or 8 times with crappy assignments and little to no information on what they want me to do, and then me rejecting those calls and still not having work for these days. That's a little different. But still, I made the effort to answer the call in case something came up that was good, and nothing good came of it. But again, looking at the values, it helped me, despite the fact that I'm still frustrated and annoyed by it, it did help me to come down a bit and recognize that's a decision you made, and you made that decision appropriately. You don't even have to reevaluate your values. You know what they are. You acted accordingly. Out of the situation that was presented to you, you did what you were supposed to do. So good on you, carry on. On the road, almost there for the interview. It's a beautiful day, and I feel weird in a good way, and I mean, I feel anxious. I have energy. It's excited energy and nervous energy, and that's okay. But yeah, I really like this landscape. I think it is quite beautiful. Haven't been doing much vlogging this week. Been pretty busy, and on the phone a lot while I've been driving. So I had an interview 3 hours away. It went really well. I'm really happy with it. Pumped on it, excited about it, anxious if I get it because then I gotta move, but I'm pumped about the position and the community and everything, staff. And I just finished an interview now for a temporary position, which is more of a backup so that I don't have to be subbing next year if I don't get anything else. But I don't know, part of me felt like, why did you apply for that? Like, part of me was like, don't have that as a backup, right? Like, just get, I don't know. I applied for 2 jobs and I got 2 interviews, which is good, but the other one is very much what I want. This is temporary, and even for temporary, I'm not super jazzed on it. Interview went okay. It wasn't horrible, but I definitely felt like I connected with admin team at the other interview. And now I'm over here gonna ride some trails before I get off to work again. I'm not gonna have a lot of time. The interview went later than I was hoping. It went longer than an hour. It was like an hour and 15 minutes almost. But then again, they were late, so I don't know how long it actually was. But anyway, Wren update. So some of you may know already, but there was a visitor over at the house. They had left their inhaler accessible to the dog, and she punctured it because she was chewing on it, because she chews on stuff, especially if it's new stuff in her environment that is accessible to her. And she punctured it and just got a face full of whatever is in the inhaler. And her heartbeat's supposed to be floating around like 100, and it was at 250 when she got brought in to the vet, and she had to do a 24-hour stay there. And she's good now, like she's solid, she's good, but it was pretty rough there for a minute. Yeah, it was no good. So she's back home. That she had to do a check again, and she's still good after the check. So yeah, she's good. But that was the thing that happened, and that happened. I got that call of Rebecca taking the dog to the vet before I could tell anyone how my interview went, and it was like on the way back from there. So that was kind of a bummer, because I was like, ugh, I just had a really great interview and I wanted to tell someone about it, and then this thing happened and that sucked. So anyway, she's doing well now, which is good. So a little update there. I don't have a lot for the vlog this week. I got information, I just don't have a lot of fun adventure stuff. However, I am gonna go ride right now, so I guess we'll see some riding footage. Okay, so trail vision's a thing that apparently I'm lacking today. Cool. This is cool. This is super cool, but it's not what I was expecting, and I didn't take a look at the trail before me. I just thought I knew what was up. Okay, well, they're building. So, my bad. I'll have to check trail forks after to see, because I looked at some of the trails, specifically Rock and Rollin', to see if anyone said there that they were doing any construction or anything, and I didn't see that. So I'll have to check about this one. You can check as well. That's going on. Hopefully that's updated on trail forks so that people know what to expect. And also, don't do what I did, have some trail vision and look at your landscape. I was so focused on that drop in, that roll in, that steep roll in, that I didn't even notice that. So learn from my mistakes. really quick outro to the vlog. This past week, other videos that have happened. There is a raw ride from a little tiny loop I did in Tabor in between appointments, which you already know about. And there was a conversation called Know Thyself and why it's important to do that work on figuring out who you are, what your weaknesses are, etc., so you can actually fix some stuff. And there was a review on Little Miss Sunshine, which is a beautiful movie that I love. That is, I don't know. It's wholesome, but in a dark comedy, very real way that I like, and it's kind of like a family going through tragedy, but there's a lot of comedy, a lot of light-hearted stuff, or just a lot of heart in general. So, anyway, that's me wrapping up the vlog, and I will see you on another time.